All right, we are live. What's good, powerful people? This is the Power Living with Purpose podcast with David C. Henderson, and this is a Power Profile Live. All right. The Power Profile is sponsored by DCH Spoken Word. Who is DCH? You already know who DCH is. So head on over to Instagram and follow DCH Spoken Word. That is DCH Spoken Word. On Facebook, David C. Henderson Spoken Word. And that is hip hop spoken word. That is motivational, positive, Christian based, and it's uplifting. Everyone can listen. All right. So check that out. And the links are at davidchenderson.com. Again, that's davidchenderson.com. All right.
Let them know.
This Power Living Live is Power Profile Live is someone who I've come to know over probably about 15 years now. Who when I had my fitness center open, came in, got a membership, actually kept his membership, which, you know, if we like everybody would have done that, we'd still be open, you know.
Yeah,
but yeah, you know what I'm saying. But basically, we are here today. We're at Booker T. Washington High School. We have the younger youth football, Macon County youth football is out there playing. This is the Jamboree. We're hosting the Jamboree. So the whole East Alabama Youth Football League is here, playing right here in Booker T. Washington. And coincidentally, I was a program director with Tuskegee Parks and Rec. We actually restarted the entire department. The YMCA went out of, the Tuskegee Macon County YMCA went out of business, and Tuskegee City Parks and Rec took over in 2013, and I stayed there for 3 years and ran every program. And I was actually the first football program coordinator to restart football in the city of Tuskegee through Tuskegee Parks and Rec. And that year we won 3 out of 4 of the age groups championships, and they've been dominating ever since.
That's right.
So yes, they have. Big shout out and rest in peace. Big shout out to Bruno. Rest in peace. Thank you again up there in heaven, man. We appreciate you. Everything you did, we're gonna keep it going. All right. So we have Mr. Chris Lee here. He is he's the mayor pro tem, but now he wants to take that pro tem off the end and just let it be mayor.
That's right.
All right. So here on the Power Living with Purpose podcast, we allow guests to introduce themselves. So tell us a little bit about who you are, Mr. Lee.
First of all, thanks for having me, David. This is long overdue, but also right on time. And with that being said, it's time, Tuskegee. I am Chris Lee. Many of you all might know me, but for those that don't, I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm an entrepreneur, and more importantly, I'm someone who's passionate about making change here in Tuskegee. I'm glad to be here today to talk a little bit about my vision, my platform, and just to give you all the chance to get to know me a little bit better on a personal level, because I think it's important as mayor that you know who you're electing, you know, and communication goes both ways. So this is my son, Frank Christopher Lee III. We call him 3 Lee. Say what's up, 3. Say what's up to the people.
Say hey.
What's up?
Hey, 3 says what's up too. So hey, I got him here with me because he's also a big part of who I am, as well as my wife JJ. She's at home and she's probably watching this as well. So hey, glad to be here today and look forward to answering some questions.
I don't know why I'm adjusting the camera like it wasn't already okay, but it's good. It's good. All right. So we got Chris Lee and 3 Lee. All right. So it feels like it's been a while now. What year was it when you first got elected?
It was 2012, and that's almost 13 years ago. We took office in November. So around this time we were campaigning. I don't remember the exact election date, but it might have already happened this time in August, 13 years ago. And so it's good to be back. It's a full circle moment now. At the time, I was just coming back from Washington, D.C. I was age 24 when I was elected. And
that was the youngest ever?
That's right. It was the youngest councilman, youngest elected official in Macon County history. And something I didn't realize at the time but discovered later, Booker T. Washington was also 24 years old when he first came to Tuskegee. So it just puts it into perspective that a lot of the greatest movements are led by young people. And certainly I was young at that time, but I've had a chance to kind of grow up right in front of everybody's eyes and gain a lot of experience here in Tuskegee.
Right. I always tell people it's not quite on the same level, but Booker T was around 24, 25 when he started Tuskegee University. I was 25 when I founded the Tuskegee University Fitness Center. So I'm the founder of the all right, we're gonna get it right. Right, so I'm the founder of the Tuskegee University Fitness Center at the age of 25. Not quite on the same level, but you know, still similar. So yeah, and so you were 24 when you got here, and see that's a big thing, because when our generation, you know, folks that were born in the 1900s and 80s and so forth, we saw, unfortunately, we saw a lot of decline throughout our whole lifetime. So from the time we were born, when you were a child, was Walmart here still?
So
maybe as a young child.
As a young child,
I remember going to Walmart to get a baseball glove.
I got vague memories
to play
of
youth
Walmart.
baseball.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Vague memories.
I remember going, you know, like going to Walmart there, and then going over to Payless Shoe Store, going over to get a pizza at Domino's, stopping by, it was Revco at the time, CVS, you know, Winn-Dixie, going there, right there in the middle, and all this is in Washington Plaza, formerly Forest Crossing. And you know, and it was a movie theater downtown. I remember as a kid seeing that. I remember going to eat out at the Tuskegee Inn. My dad was a lifeguard out there when I was younger, but I wasn't born by that time. I wasn't that born then. But I remember going out there. I remember, you know, they said it was a drive-in theater. They said it was a roller skating rink downtown. I mean, I remember a car dealership being where the Board of Education was. I remember, you know, everything that a small town would need was right here. But throughout my life in the 80s and 90s, I just saw it go down, down, down. So I graduated high school. I was trying to get out of here. And I wasn't planning on coming back until I had made it out in the real world. And then I was going to maybe come back, you know, later and branch off of what I was doing there. But you came back at 24. Actually, and me personally, I came back at 25. But it was because my father passed from cancer, and I wanted to come back to help my mom. And also for my mom to help me, because that was my best friend in the world. So I moved back so we could help each other. So when you got back here, 24 years old, young and fresh, you already had some whiteout experience, didn't you?
Yeah, I was coming from Washington, D.C. I graduated from Hampton University. So when I first left Tuskegee, I was an 18-year-old kid. Graduated from Hampton University. What year? That would have been 2010. I graduated from Hampton. That year, President Barack Obama was actually our graduation speaker, and I can remember him being there, and he charged the entire graduating class with going home and making change, being the change you seek in your own community.
Right.
So I took that very personally. But as a result of graduating from Hampton and the experience that I had there, I was awarded the opportunity to serve as a White House intern in the Office of Presidential Correspondence under the Obama administration. So I got an in-depth perspective. Office of Presidential Correspondence is basically the office that takes all the letters that everybody writes to the president. So it was my job as an intern to actually filter those letters, read them, and see the concerns of everyday Americans. And specifically, I was in student correspondence, so I was getting letters from young people, everything from just kids writing the president, drawing them pictures, to young people, high school students, just expressing their concerns. So I got a wide perspective of not just people from the South where I was from, but people from all over the country. So that was a great experience. After I left the White House, I then went on to Capitol Hill. I worked for a company, nonprofit called NAFIO, which is National Association for Equal Opportunity in Higher Education, which is an advocacy group that represents pretty much all of the historically black colleges and universities in America, including Tuskegee University. So we worked closely with college presidents and represented their issues on Capitol Hill. So I did that for a couple years and was off to a great start. Had a lot of other opportunities, but I truly had a calling to come home. And again, drawing back from that inspiration, I wanted to go home and be the change that I seek. When I would come home, I didn't see something that I necessarily liked. So instead of complaining about it, you know, I decided to pack up, leave DC, and come back home and cast my bucket there.
And that's also like me, right around that age. When I started my business in Tuscaloosa, my fitness company without a fitness center, and we were getting ready to take over the whole South. But in my dad's last few months of his life, I told him about everything, and he was like, "Well, why don't you start it in Tuskegee, and then try to grow nationwide from Tuskegee, I was like, you know what, Dad, you're right. I'm gonna do just that, and we still are gonna do it. You know, just because the gym is closed, I've been working behind the scenes, and we will have a national fitness company from Tuskegee, Alabama, bringing in millions of dollars per year, right here.
That's right.
Don't believe me, just watch. But yeah, so you know, like that, the mind frame of our generation typically was to leave and get up out of here.
Oh yeah.
But when you really take a good look at, like, you know what, the city that I want the way I want my hometown to really look long term, it's not there right now. And I'm young, I got the energy and the ideas, so you came back with the fresh energy and ideas, you know, just like I did. That's awesome. Now, let's take it one term at a time. So you've been in office 3 terms. All right, so walk me through the first term. Who was the mayor, and what were some of the things that y'all got accomplished, some of the best things y'all got accomplished?
So first term, I was elected to City Council District 1. And
Okay.
at that time, Johnny Ford was coming back again as mayor of Tuskegee. I think Omar Neal was the mayor before him. So that election, Omar and Johnny were running. And so he won that time. At that time,
Just a quick shout out to Omar Neal.
oh yeah.
Great job in office. I think during Omar's time, we got Family Dollar, Dollar General downtown, AutoZone, and the second Dollar General. All that came under Omar.
Oh yeah.
And he had made this big meeting where he was trying to get all the different city organizations to work together and have split off into different tasks and everything. But he didn't get reelected. But yeah, shout out to Omar. He did a great job during that time.
Oh yeah. So came on the council first representing District 1. Now I guess the old District 1, now that we're transitioning to the new form of government with 5 districts. But at the time it encompassed the entire campus of Tuskegee University. So I took that very personal. I was not a student at Tuskegee. As I said, I graduated from Hampton. But at that time, age 24, I could really relate to the students there. And I felt that, I still feel like I can, but I was fresh out of college myself. So I spent a lot of the time during that campaign talking to students, getting them registered to vote, and actually getting them engaged. We talk a lot about, you know, bridging the gap between town and gown and campus and community. I was actively doing that from day one. And, you know, in the community, a lot of people knew me, but a lot of people knew me as a kid. When I left, I was just 18.
Well, I know you said you were this tall.
Yeah, that's right. So I had to also
boy.
come back and let them know that I had matured. I had gained some experience, as I mentioned, working in Washington, and that I was actually ready to take on a challenge. And it definitely was a challenge at those times. Being young and somewhat naive in politics, you think you're just going to come in almost with a magic wand. And, you know, I've been in this Washington, D.C., so now I'm going to come back and change Tuskegee. Well, it's a marathon, not a sprint, and we're still running that marathon right now. We haven't gotten everything done that we wanted to do, but certainly it's a work in progress, and I think we're really hitting a stride now, going into this mayoral challenge, which is the next phase of the journey.
Right. So, walk me through that first term. What would you say some of the biggest things? I know Parks and Rec, we came on during the first term. What would you say were some of those biggest accomplishments in that first term?
So that definitely was the biggest accomplishment, reestablishing our Parks and Rec department. And people hear me talk about it all the time. I've been accused of basically putting too much emphasis, but I don't on sports and kids, but I don't think that you can really put too much emphasis on investing in our future. I think that sports is really just a draw-in. Ultimately, as you know, David, once you get those kids to buy in with sports, you're most of the time a mentor for life. And it's something that they like to do, but then they respect you. You can hold them accountable. When you see them in the street doing what they're not supposed to do, they're going to listen to you because you're someone that is poured into them from a young age. And like you said, you know, rest in peace to Bruno Brooks. He was a part of that. At the same time, he was coaching the younger kids. My brother and I coached the 11 and 12-year-olds at the time. Well, actually, the first group we started with, I think they were 9 and 10 at first, and then we moved up with them. But, you know, it's great to see how you can plant those seeds back then and now reap the benefits. And those seeds are bearing fruit. It didn't happen overnight. But at the time, Booker T. Washington was struggling as a school, as an athletics program, let me say it like that. You know, there wasn't much attention as far as college scholarships and things like that. But as a result of planting those seeds,
now we've had 2 ESPN top 200 players.
Oh yeah, and more to come, more to
right
come.
now.
And you know, those guys, more importantly, were able to play with each other, and that makes a big difference when you get to the high school level. And so, I'm very, very proud of that accomplishment. I'm going to keep saying how proud I am because I just think that it's an example of how we can invest in other areas, not just Parks and Rec. And while we're not going to see results overnight, eventually we will see bear some fruit from those seeds.
Yeah. And I think that character development has also helped a lot.
That's right.
Seeing those kids go through school.
Oh yeah.
You know, of course, a couple of them are going to fall through the cracks, but very small percentages. All right. So now, on your second term, who was the mayor the second time?
So the second term, Mayor Lawrence Tony Haygood actually defeated Johnny Ford. We all came on at the same time. Got a touchdown here in the background.
All right, let's go.
Macon County Eagles.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tony Haygood came on and he defeated Johnny Ford at the time. He was serving as councilman at large. I was District 1. And I ran at that time again for District 1 council person.
And during that second term, yeah,
we got our hands full today. We're gonna make it happen.
So during that second term, what would you say are some of the major accomplishments?
So
that second term.
That second term, and you know, I look at this as a major accomplishment because it was an investment in myself and also an investment in the city of Tuskegee. I actually attended and graduated from law school while I was in that second term.
Right.
If anybody's been to law school, you know that it's a very rigorous program. I mean, it was many, many late nights studying for those tests and making sure I was in class every day. So a lot of times I did, had to balance being a council person and a full-time student. But as a result, I gained a law degree. And really my purpose for going to law school was to get a better understanding of the processes as far as dealing with contracts and things that we see every day as a city. So that really equipped me to be a better leader. The training that I got there, it overlapped into those council meetings and sorry about that. We're going to keep them straight over here. Don't knock the camera over, man.
My tripod actually broke. I'm kind of had to figure it up a little bit.
But anyway, graduating from law school definitely, I think was a major accomplishment. And I say that to say because once again, it's a marathon, not a sprint. I was looking at it as a time. I knew that I'd have to sacrifice some time, but now I'm grateful for it because it's put me in a position, and many times, to really be that voice of reason and to protect our interests as a city. Whenever we talk about industry and these people coming in here, I'm the one that can ask those questions behind closed doors to make sure that our interests from a city are covered. And we have a city attorney, but it's good to have someone on the council that can even bounce things off of the attorney and ask them the right questions to make sure we're covered.
Right.
But that's one of the things. But we also started a lot of the growth and development that we see now, working alongside with the Macon County Economic Development Authority.
You can kind of see the progress.
Yep.
Like I said, again, shout out to Omar. Started seeing progress during that term. Johnny term, we started seeing more progress. Tony, that first term. Just in general, like, different things, like, little bits and pieces here and there.
Oh, yeah.
It started feeling like, okay, maybe we are going in the right direction. Got you. What was it, MC, the Macon County Economic Development?
That's right.
They started getting real active.
Yeah.
And into the third term, what would you say are some of the biggest accomplishments? So
the third term, we have really started to take off in areas such as land and industry. I think that is one of the major accomplishments for sure. We got Sam Key out at the industrial park, and I think that's going to be a major anchor moving forward. And we're right here on I-85 between Hyundai and Kia, so we're perfectly positioned for those type of businesses to thrive. But I think that we can't just be content and satisfied with just that. They're going to bring a lot of jobs. They're making a lot of impact. But I'm more so even excited about the opportunity to bring in small businesses and have a combination and balance of both of those here in the city.
And the Torch redid stuff, and the Torch did their big rebuilding, and then
That's
what
right.
out there the exit. What that factory out there that's going to be doing?
Yeah, it's outside the city
something?
limits. But yeah, they're not actually doing gloves now. That's going to be another
it's gonna be
Korean supplier that's located there now.
Okay.
They're out at exit 42 Wire Road, which the city did play a part, although it's outside of our city limits. We definitely played a part with economic development here in the city. Those windows are closed.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. He's safe.
So yeah, that was part of it as well. And I just want to emphasize that everything we did, it was a team effort. It wasn't just one person that did any of those things. I was glad to be a part of that team. But sometimes people would try to take all the credit as if it was just one person that did these things, and it wasn't. And it wasn't just me either. It was the entire council. I also worked with the county commission, Macon County Economic Development Authority, Tuskegee University, and other entities, UBT board, to make these things happen.
I know that whole exit 38, the pilot and everything. Like, I know that was a process.
Yeah, it was a big process.
That was long.
It took a long time. A lot of people say, it took 10 years to build a gas station. Well, that's not, the city wasn't the one actually doing that. When you work with private developers and they have challenges, sometimes things happen out of your control. But certainly I'm glad it's open now. They've been very busy. It kind of shows we've missed a lot of tax dollars through the years with it being closed and taking so long, but it is finally here. And we're seeing the benefit to our tax base from that now.
Gotcha. So, in your run for mayor now, what are your platform messages, and what is the difference between Tony and you? Because, like I said, with you as city councilman, these last 12 years, I've seen progress. We've all seen progress. But now, what makes you the better person to take the top spot?
Oh yeah. Well, whenever I'm asked this question, I have to start by saying that running for mayor is not personal, it's purposeful. And I say that because I've worked alongside Mayor Haygood for the past 13 years. The whole time we've been there together. And everything that he can, take the credit for accomplishment, I played a part in it as well. And I think that, having me there was a critical piece, as I said before, to the team. Being the only millennial on the council now and the only millennial candidate for mayor, I'm old enough to remember a time before really technology hit. I remember when we first started getting those AOL discs in the mail, and we had to dial up to get on the internet, and it was exciting times, but it was a different time for sure. But I remember just going outside as a kid and playing when all you had was just your bikes and your toys. You weren't connected to a screen at all that time.
There was no connection to it.
That's right.
Everything.
But I'm also young enough to, when those things started to implement and take place, I really made them a part of my DNA. So understanding technology is second nature to me. I've been the person to kind of break down and translate a lot of the technology barriers and things to the other people on the council and the city. But I think that it's time now to really grab the bull by the horn and really take a more aggressive approach to implementing technology, things like AI, artificial intelligence, in a way where we can embrace it and not be scared of it to improve our city systems. We're getting left behind in a lot of areas right now compared to other cities, and a lot of developers and citizens have complained about how difficult it is to conduct business, things like permitting, things like simple tasks that you shouldn't have to depend on a human being in the office at a certain time of day and them not being there in 2025 to get done. So that's one thing that I think that I have an advantage on all the candidates running for mayor, is that I have a in-depth understanding of technology, and the things that I don't understand, I have the ability to bring in experts and people who do to advise me on. And so that's something that I will do. And I think that, from day one, we're going to look at every aspect of our city government, and we're going to figure out ways to make them run more effectively and more efficiently. And technology certainly will be a part of that process.
And because that can probably help out a lot with getting citizens involved, because, while some people would sit here and say the city need to be bringing in jobs and this type of stuff, meanwhile, people like Terrence Johnson has created enough businesses to where he hires over 100 people, I'm sure. Vaughn Tarver has started businesses to where he hires dozens of people. So that's over 100 jobs just between 2 people. You know what I'm saying? So while we're sitting around talking about the city need to do this and the city need to do that, other local citizens have gone out and brought in over 100 jobs themselves. So in terms of entrepreneurship and community involvement, what are your plans towards, maybe helping more people, more local citizens start businesses?
I think that the city has to play a direct role in supporting our entrepreneurs and local businesses here in the city. And I think that there are not too many entities like the city, like the UBT board, that can really. Can you come over there for a second? Can you hang out with y'all for about 2 minutes?
Yeah. How old is 3?
He's 4 years old.
4 years old. Yeah, that attention span is only going to be.
You can send him back if you need to. All right. But yeah, I think that we have to be intentional and we have to be direct about supporting our local businesses. And I think that as a city, as a utilities board, there are opportunities when it could be something as simple as we're having a lunch for our employees. We have to be intentional about supporting local businesses. And that's something that I brought up as a point before. I know we don't have all the options that say Auburn, Montgomery, but we can't expect that our businesses here that are sacrificing to make it when we're have those big opportunities and we give them elsewhere. But that's just something simple like a meal. There's also opportunities like contracting. When we build things, we need to just put an emphasis on using local people first. That's something that I will do.
Trucks and out of town.
And that I will commit to, because also we can start to develop other people in areas where we don't have, say, a tree trimming service, that can take on the type of contract that UBT, they spend almost over $1 million every few years to trim those power lines.
Imagine if that was a
local company. If that is a local company.
You can identify people.
That's right.
And then the city can help.
And that money circulates.
Help
That's
work
the
hand
goal.
in hand to get JoJo and Momo and Roro, get them trained to get together.
And the challenges that we face, such as paving roads and keeping. I think there's a great opportunity if somebody's out there to really start a paving asphalt company here, because it's a need that we hear. Fix
the potholes. You can get paid.
You can get paid, and we can also train the young people to keep that going and keep that money in house. And I think that we have to even use our resources, such as the utilities board, more. A lot of the equipment they have can be used for the city as well. Even certain jobs, as we bolster our utilities board, I think we can do some more things in-house. And there's a thin line between that. Obviously, in the past, there was some abuse going on, and that's how the separation really happened when UBT went into receivership. But I think it comes down to being, if you have responsible leadership at the top, those entities are supposed to work together. UBT was looked at as the cash cow, but it could really be the economic driver of this community for the type of growth that we want to see, and not necessarily the growth that other people might want to see. So I think we have to take control of that. And right now, more than ever, you're seeing a lot of foreign investment in Tuskegee. You're seeing people from other places, other cities, other states, other countries coming in here and locating businesses here. I guarantee you they wouldn't be here if they weren't making money or if they didn't think they were going to make money. That's just the name of business. So we have to realize the opportunity that we have under our nose right here and start to capitalize it. So that's one thing that for sure I will do to support businesses. But also I want to support up-and-coming talent and innovation. I see Tuskegee as being an innovative tech hub for America here. And I think that we have so much talent here, not only locally with our residents, but every 4 years there's a cycle of students, literally some of the most innovative minds in the entire world pass through those gates of Tuskegee University, and we're really underutilizing that talent. So we have to, give them opportunities to live here, spend money here, enjoy themselves in their college experience, and also create opportunities for them when they graduate and live in Tuskegee.
Right, because if you look at a lot of the, say, 50, 60, 70-year-olds today in Tuskegee, they were college students who came here who had something to do here when they graduated, so they didn't leave.
That's right.
So a lot of the older adults in our community are not originally from here.
That's
they
right.
came here for college or they came here for work. When, as Pastor Winston said, Tuskegee had the highest black per capita payroll in the entire world.
That's right.
Right after World War II, because we had all the stuff from the war. We had the airmen going on. We had the 2 hospitals. We had all kinds of stuff. Tuskegee University booming. Our generation kind of try to get away. Now we see you can start anything from anywhere now. All you need is a phone, a laptop, and some creativity. And you can build $1 million company right there at your kitchen table.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm a perfect example of that. I think we need to really attract people who have online businesses and.
You're a millionaire?
Oh no, I wasn't saying it like that. I'm saying someone who has an online based business and could really live anywhere. We need to attract people who want to live in Tuskegee but have the freedom to operate their business from anywhere. Let's make it a good environment for those young entrepreneurs, those e-commerce, those online based businesses, because it's a choice.
And the Airbnb opportunity, you don't even have to have a hotel in the city. If you got enough people doing Airbnbs, you got a couple hundred people doing Airbnbs. You always got room for tourists to stay.
That's right.
Somewhere, and that money goes into the pockets of local people.
That's right. And I met a lot of parents dropping off their kids.
You thought about like trying to get more locals, more citizens to start Airbnbs.
Absolutely. Local citizens, and I've also met a lot of. Come on back in here, man. Come on back. Come back.
We're about to wrap up.
I met a lot of TU parents when they're dropping their kids off, and they hear so much about Tuskegee, and they get here. Sometimes it's a little disappointment for how the city looks and the amount of abandoned houses, but also it's a lot of opportunity. And sometimes they realize that I've seen an abandoned house get bought, turned, and flipped. That's right.
And become a nice looking house.
That's right.
And they start Airbnb-ing it out.
That's something.
That used to be a bando, and now
That's
it's
right.
a Airbnb though. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow.
Yeah, so I think we need to really, really put a focus on that. One way that I plan to address it is, first and foremost, start enforcing our city ordinances when it comes to abatement and people neglecting property. We want to be fair and give people an opportunity. We certainly don't want to, just take people's property. But a lot of times, these are people that just don't care, and they might just be from out of town. Maybe they're paying the taxes or something, but they don't really have any intention to revitalize that property. So when properties are not, and they do, a lot of times they do it just because the city allows it to happen. When they don't enforce the ordinance and keep those properties to standards, we're going to fine them. We're going to assess certain fees that, if they're not paid and they don't, do what is asked to keep the property clean, the city will be in a position to take over that property. And I think if we make some of those properties available in a land bank, that will give people an opportunity. Of course, they'll have to make a commitment to a time frame of what they want to do, how long it's going to take, and put the money up. But I think that's going to give people an opportunity who really do want to invest and make an impact here. To revitalize those properties and also address our affordable housing shortage that we have here. It's hard to keep people here, even if you have the jobs, if you don't have the available housing. So that's what we're running into now. A lot of employees, from the university, our school system, even the plant, Samkey, they're working here. We're making a little money off of occupational tax, but they're not the type of comparable housing options here that they have in other cities that they want. So,
right. If we had hundreds of citizens keep having good rental properties, or thousands of local citizens offering good rental properties, and some more apartment complexes being built, and so forth and so on, then now you got the infrastructure to bring the people in and so forth.
That's right.
When George Floyd and Breonna Taylor happened, I thought if I was a black person in a city where I knew I was being racially discriminated against all the time, I would start looking where are the smallest black cities where I can feel comfortable.
That's
Not
right.
necessarily the big black cities, but the smaller black cities where I'm not going to get discriminated against. The police are not going to possibly shoot me and kill me, for the color of my skin. And I would put Tuskegee would have been high on my list.
Yep.
Anywhere in the country, as a black person, after the, seeing George Floyd, Brown Taylor, all the other ones, too many more to name.
That's
I
right.
would have thought like Tulsa, Oklahoma, maybe Tuskegee, you know what I'm saying? And I think we got, great opportunities. Just got to bring them in.
Sure.
So what I'm hearing is technology, I'm hearing innovation, infrastructure for businesses and residents. I'm hearing working with the university even more, try to get use their bright, amazing students, and who graduate, by the way, and go on and work at Fortune 500 companies and start off six figures and doing tremendous great things. For 5 years, because for 5 years I ran the Tuskegee University Fitness Center. I hired college students, and just off of the 10, 20, 30 students I hired during that time, I've seen what they've gone on to become in life, and I was also, seeing all the student body during that time, a lot of the students from that time, what they've gone on to become in life, and that's just a 5-year sample when I was there, and so forth. So I know what we're capable of,
That's right.
what the type of brilliant minds that come through Tuskegee, Alabama. So, and as a member of the Booker T. Washington family, great nephew, I also say that we are going to definitely be trying to work more and more with the city and university to keep Booker T's legacy going on behalf of his family as well.
That's good to know.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Power Living with Purpose podcast, Power Living Live, and this is making history. This is the first one. It's the first one. All right, so it's going down in history. And again, today's sponsor was DCH Spoken Word. That's David C. Henderson Spoken Word, DCH Spoken Word on Instagram, and David C. Henderson Spoken Word on Facebook, and David C. Henderson on YouTube. All right, it's been the Power Living Live. On Tuesday,
that's what I was going to say.
I was
going to give you the last word.
What's the main thing you want them to remember when they go to the polls?
Well, when they go to the poll, first of all, we want to remind everybody that the election is coming up this Tuesday, August 26th. The polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the Municipal Complex. Don't just come by yourself. Bring a friend. Fill up your car. Come on out and vote.
And provisional ballots, if you don't have something, if you misplace your license or something like that, you can also come and try to get
request
verified.
A provisional ballot. So that's better. If you're not on the list or if there's a problem, you can always request. You have a right to request a provisional ballot. So once that issue is researched, that vote can still be tallied later on during the count. So definitely want to encourage everybody to come on out and vote for me, Chris Lee, the next mayor of Tuskegee. I'm going to bring transparency, accountability, communication. We're going to restore our historic legacy. We're going to address the problems with our infrastructure, our streets. We're going to beautify this city, and we're going to create a seamless connection with Tuskegee University, town and gown. Those are my top priorities. Of course, we're going to always pour into the youth. That's not a question. I've been doing that before I'm on the council. I'm going to be doing that when I'm off the council. No matter what happens on Tuesday, I'm going to still be committed to these young people as I have been. I know we got flag football coming up soon, so I'm going to plug that with our Parks and Recreation, because pray for me, I'm going to be signing up to coach the young ones. I think starting 3 and 4 years old that we're going to try to do this year.
Good luck.
But I just want you all to know that I'm committed to you, the citizens. My heart is in this, and this is something that I'm passionate about. Come on, 3. We're going to give you the last word.
I got to ask 3 a question.
Okay.
So 3, I got one question for you. Would you say that your dad is a good dad or a great dad?
A great dad.
Oh, well,
man.
there you go. You heard it from the source.
That's
All right.
That's the best endorsement of the year right there. So
there you go.
I will tie your shoe. And
so
with
not only is he a good candidate for all the reasons he listed, but he's also a great dad and a great husband as well. I've seen as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Chris Lee. God
Peace.
bless.
Have a good one.
If you don't remember, if there's nothing else that I said that you remember, just remember this: DavidCHenderson.com. That's www.davidchenderson.com.
They can remember.
Please don't ever forget that.
Yeah.
God bless.